All right. Hello. Welcome to Teal House Farm. Sam's here.
Hello.
We are excited to be live. Sorry, our lives have been kind of like all over the place, but life has been busy. So it's been a really crazy week, though, hasn't it?
It has
been.
super
Do you want
crazy.
to tell them the big news?
Today was my first day, sort of my first day on the job at the hospital. These 2 weeks, though, are just orientation, so I was just on a computer listening to a presentation.
It wasn't the most interesting day of your life.
I think most of this week, it's 5 days this week. 2 days, today and Thursday, are mostly like online presentations. I don't think I'm actually gonna do like nursey things until maybe next week. I know we get to meet like our actual like the labor and delivery team next week, but I won't actually be on the floor of the hospital until October.
That wasn't the big news I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
The other big news.
What?
You took your test?
Oh yeah, I passed. Oh, they didn't.
YouTube
doesn't know that yet.
YouTube doesn't know that yet.
I did. I took it and passed. I passed it. I am proud of this. I took it. So it asks the NCLEX. This year is the new year for. They changed up the test. So they do this like every. I can't remember. It's like 4 or 5 years. They change up. They like evaluate the test and then change how things are done. And this is a new year, so my class are the guinea pigs. But anyway, this year they ask a minimum of 85 questions, and I think it's a maximum of 150. And basically, the computer just goes until it's 95% accurate that you're either competent or you're incompetent, and then it just shuts off while it's asking. So I made it to the minimum amount of questions, and then it just shut off. So I knew I either did terrific and fantastic, or I needed major help. And fortunately, I passed. But I told Laura, it's like, you'd think like, oh, you passed in the minimum amount of questions. Like, you'd think you passed for sure. But it was a hard test. So anyway, I'm grateful. I'm super excited that I got it done before I even started in at the hospital. Because this onboarding stuff is just a hassle. It's not much fun. I swear every day I get like 3 or 4 links sent to me of things like little videos I need to check out or little things that I need to have done. And it's always sent by a different person. It's a lot to keep track of. So I'm super glad that I got the test over with before starting at the hospital. So that's a huge load off. I will say though, it was kind of funny. In one of the emails, maybe 2 days ago, I can't remember when I got it. Maybe it was Friday, I forget. But they sent us an email that said that all like incoming nurses, I think even experienced nurses, you have to pass a medication administration test. And I was like, I already took all those tests, but the hospital has one that you have to do. I think it's going to be super easy. It's open book and it's multiple choice. So some of the medication administration tests that we've had, like, they were not multiple choice, and they definitely weren't open book. So it should be easy. But I was like, man, I've already passed all those tests. Anyway, I'm looking forward to October, where I'm actually on the unit, hanging out with a nurse, and actually like
working with people,
learning things that, I mean, all these things matter, but like right now I'm learning like how to change your benefit plan on their app or their website. But actually taking care of patients, I'm excited for that part.
So we missed a whole lot of people.
Did we? Let's see. Start from the top. Aunt Holly's here, and Lois, and Beth Ford from Illinois. Bonnie
from Idaho.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Lois. Thank you. And Bonnie says that's great. Erica says congratulations.
And Tessa's here, and True Joy's here, and Zipco, and Grammy is here. So
awesome.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, he's never, either of us, done a lot of different jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a job that had like benefit options, and so there were a lot of options.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff.
So we were trying to figure that out tonight.
It's
trying
nice.
to make sure we didn't make any stupid choices.
Mm-hmm. It's not. I will say it's nice that there are options. They're not just like, here are these 12 things you like. This is what you get. Like, there's no take it or leave it. Like, this comes with the job. Like, you can opt in or out of nearly everything. So that's really nice. You really get to kind of customize your package, so to speak. True joy. Did I miss the official announcement? Yes. Well, we just made the announcement.
Yeah.
So I don't know how official that is, but yes, I did pass the NCLEX. Super, super excited about it. I took it... If you take it in the morning, during the week, like Monday through probably Thursday, maybe Wednesday, you can figure out most of the time that night whether you passed or not. You go onto a website that that pulls all of the information for nurses that are registered in the state. You can go to that website and check. But since I took mine on a Friday, they're not going to update that stuff on Friday night. So I had to wait till Monday night.
It was the longest weekend of your life.
Oh my goodness. I just had so many ups and downs. Like half the day I'd be like, feels so good to have it done. Like, I really think I did really well. And then the other half of the day I'd be like, I just need to plan on when I'm going to take this again because that test was hard. I don't know if I passed. I mean, truly, of the 85 questions I had, I would say I probably only had a couple of questions that I would consider like gimme questions that I thought were easy. It was just a couple of them. Most of them I had to have my thinking cap on. So.
J and B is here. Welcome. Thanks
Congrats.
for joining us.
Yes, thank you. We're excited.
So what else? Tomorrow's the first day you actually get to go. You're actually going to go into the hospital
Yep.
and stuff.
Yeah, I'll be.
Today was at home on the computer.
Yeah, I'll be at the hospital tomorrow. But I still think it's going to be. I don't know if tomorrow I'll just be with nurses, but it's going to be in a big classroom with a whole bunch of other people. Just learning more. You know, like today was like the history of Mercy Hospital. All about the founders and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll be, like I said earlier, I'll be super excited to have all of the onboarding stuff done. They have all kinds of little tests and courses you have to pass. So it'll be nice to get all of those out of the way and get on the unit.
J&B says she's glad to know how well tested nurses are. So that makes me feel a little safer. Everybody's got to go through all this training.
Yeah.
You've already done all this training. So anyway, our greenhouse has been planted, so you probably saw that.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting, and everything's starting to sprout, so that's exciting. It's gotten cold, like, fast, I feel like we went from just sweltering hot to, ooh, I need a hoodie in the morning.
Yeah.
You feel like that?
Yeah, I would say so.
I haven't wrapped the greenhouse yet, but I feel like I'm going to have to really get on that because the temperature's really dropping.
Yeah, usually it kind of mellows a little bit, but we really went from like the hottest days that we had in the year to like in the mornings it's 50 or so. Like it literally just boom, just like that. So.
Tessa says she retired from Mercy. The new training never ends. I'm sure that's true.
No, this will be
stuff.
This will be in the St. Louis area. So, I think anymore, like you like even I was at a hospital over in the middle of the state, and the nurses like they always had modules to complete and stuff, and I think for two reasons. One, like information is always changing in medicine and safer way to do things. Like all that information is always changing. So that's good if you have a safer, better way to do things. That you have these little courses and things you have to take. And two, I think it helps the hospital insurance wise and stuff to be like, look, they passed our little test, so. They should be good to go with that or whatever.
JMB says Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. No.
No.
But
no,
it
it's
might
in
all be
St.
part of the
Louis,
same system.
Oh,
but
yeah. Mercy.
it's huge.
Today I learned that Mercy covers 4 states, I think. So it's becoming a bigger hospital system, I think. Tessa says, I retired from Mercy. Oh, no, we read that. Whoops. True Joy. Back when I took it, I had to wait 2 days to know for sure that I passed. Yeah. I went from Friday to Monday night. And you could pay a fee. It wasn't that much, honestly. It was like $10 or $15. You could pay a fee to learn about your test faster. But the fact that I took it off Friday, I don't know that it to get your results faster. I don't know that I would have gotten it faster anyway. But Norma says, late catching up. Congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. Sharon says, hello from Mississippi. We were in Fulton Mo last weekend. Nice. Yeah, that's not too far away.
Yeah. So it actually worked out really well, though, that you were working from home today, because everything really went sideways last night. So,
oh, my goodness.
sometimes you bring animals to the butcher and you feel a little sad because you've raised them, you've bottle fed them, and they've been there.
Mm-hmm.
We dropped off a couple of sheep at the butcher that by the time they actually got to the butcher, I'm going to enjoy every bite that comes out of that freezer.
They made us work for it.
They worked for it.
It was our own fault, though.
We made a little bit of a whoopsie, and they took advantage of it very quickly.
I'll tell the story.
You want to tell the story? So, set the scene for Sunday evening, groggily waking up from your Sunday afternoon nap, and your wife says, all right, we got to put the sheep in the van.
Well, we knew I was going to have class today for the hospital, and so the butcher lets you drop animals off in the evening. Like, they have stalls that are open. You just got to kind of fill out a card form and stuff. So we were going to do that last night. And we have 2 sheep that we're going to take in. But these sheep were like mama raised, so they weren't bottle fed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like that. These guys just want to run as far away from you as they can most of the time. Let's see. I don't want to get too far behind.
True Joy is retiring after 38 years.
In
That's
6
awesome.
months. Awesome.
Almost there.
Congratulations. That's exciting. That's a lot of work. So our plan was to feed them a little bit, in their stall, catch them, and then load them up. And we have big dog crates. That's how we've moved all of our goats and sheep. And it usually works really well. So we get them, they like Laura a little bit more than me. So Laura gets them stuck in the stall. And I grab the one, this sheep he's so afraid of me trying to catch him. The only reason I caught him the first time was he tries to run through a window pane, but we have it all blocked off. And he tried to just, woven wire, and he tries to just go through it. And he doesn't knock himself out, but
he's seeing some stars.
He slowed himself down a little bit. So I grab him, get him in the kennel, and we get him in the van.
Oh, he won't walk there, by the way.
Yeah, I gotta drag him
200 yards or whatever it is to the front of the house. He's dragging his butt the whole way.
You talk about a workout with an animal that doesn't want to be around you. Hello, Adele.
Welcome.
Thanks for joining us.
How much do you think they weigh? 80 pounds?
I'd say 80 pounds. I don't know. White one might
be
closer to 90. He's a little chubby,
He's a big
actually.
boy.
So we get that one, and then we go back to the barn, and our stall, it has 2 doors, one for us to walk into, and then they have an outside door, and the outside door...
He busted it
open. We could not catch that sheep. And he was running through all of the fence. He was scared to death, and we could not get near him. So we tried, our next plant, we chased that sheep.
This was a couple hours later.
Yes, that was 2 hours chasing that sheep. So we finally took our other sheep that we had already in the kennel, and we're like, we'll take the kennel into that stall, and maybe our sheep that's running around all crazy, he'll go back in there to be with his buddy. Because that's what he really wanted. So we get the one in the kennel up there, and as we're trying to herd the loose sheep back in, he busts out of the kennel. So now they're both running around. And by then it's 8:30, wasn't it? Or 9? I don't. Maybe not quite that late.
It was like 7:30, but it was starting to get dark.
Oh, 7:30. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to get dark. It finally does get dark, and we still can't get them in there. We tried to get some more feed in last night. They wouldn't really go in. So this morning, Laura has to pull a ninja move. She hides behind the door that's in the stall and feeds them so that they don't know that she's there.
What was happening is like we put the feed out in the morning because they always come in. They're always excited for the grain. They're like in the back 40, just looking at you, not coming in for that feed, not following.
They're like, you did this to us once. It's not happening.
So we left the feed in the dish. We went inside, and like 20 minutes later, they come into the barn because they realize we're gone, and then we try to sneak into the stall to grab them, but there's no quiet way to sneak up the ladder to the stall, so they bolted out. So then it's like 8:00, and he's supposed to log on for work at 8:30. He's taking a shower, and I was like, I bet I could get him if I put feed in the bucket and then hide in the stall so they think I'm not there. So I dump some more feed in the bucket, and then I hide, like the door is really heavy and really big. I hide behind the door so they can't see me, and their little heads peep in around, oh, there's nobody in here, and then they go up to the feed dish. I slam it closed. I'm trying to like text him from the barn to get out here real quick. And, of course, the text doesn't go through because there's no service on our property. So, like, running inside, banging on the bathroom door. And
so I run out there.
After just getting all cleaned, after trying all morning to get
I wish
them
I had
again.
a camera. You should have seen the snag I had on this horned sheep that we had. Like, he's jumping by, and I, like, catch him midair. I felt like Spider-Man or something.
Yeah, no video footage. At this point, we are so frustrated, there's no more filming going
So then I gotta drag him down to that kennel again. The second sheep, he has no horns, and we have a collar, but every time I tighten it, he pulls so hard that it like immediately loosens again. It was a cheap collar. So the only thing I could do is pick him up, and he's like 90 pounds, and then he's like kicking and flailing.
He's like, you're like squat sumo waddling all the way around the house to the van.
Get him down in the van, get him in the kennel. So we got them both to the butcher with Laura this morning, with Laura's surprise ninja attack in the stall.
And you logged on 5 minutes early still.
And I got
a little smelly and sweatier.
I was sweating. You should have seen me after dragging the first goat all the way down there, all 80 pounds of him just fighting and kicking the whole way, and then picking up the 90-pounder, carrying him all the way down. I was literally bent over like this, just it was so bad. But
we were ready to because when you, at least where we are, you have to book your butcher slot months in advance. There is no, I couldn't get them, I need another day. By the time we would have been able to get another day, this would have been mutton, not lamb, and I don't want mutton. So I was so frustrated, which is why we tried so hard to get them, because I knew that this was the one window of opportunity. But we were Googling, is this something we could do ourselves? Because you've done deer before. Yeah,
we could have done it.
It's mostly a space issue and a timing issue, because they have to hang in a cold environment for 4 or 5 days, and they're ready to be butchered now. And if we wait until it's consistently cold where we are, be another 2 months, and I worry about them being too big and too tough. And so, but we were looking up options. We're trying to figure out whether or not we could do it ourselves. Yeah, I thought for sure we were gonna have to butcher. We could have called my dad and my brothers. I think they would have come down and helped. I think we could have done it. It would have been more of whether they would have been too old. Yeah. I will say though, I swear, if I had a lasso, we would have been gold. Because the one that was running around all crazy for a while. He got close enough so many times that if I had a lasso, we would have been good. And I tried to kind of make a makeshift one, but he was just too fast to snag by hand. What we need, and I think maybe we'll build it in the future, is more of a corral. The people that we got. What do you mean? I don't know what that is. No dessert. Are you asking for dessert? No dessert. Okay.
Let's see.
We missed a bunch.
Christy is here. Well, let's see. No, we have Kelly says, "LOL, oh my." JMB says, "Geez, Christy, hello, thanks for joining us." Adele says, "What a hoot." And then Beeler Family Farm says, "Hi all, same for us on butcher dates. We did 3
Yeah.
steers in early August that we had to schedule.
Yeah, and you guys aren't too far from us, I don't think. I think you're in mid-Missouri too, so there aren't as many butchers, I think, as there probably used to be, and there's a lot more people raising their own
It's
animals.
one of those things, like here in a couple years.
It'll fall off.
No. I was going to say, here in a couple years, once we have a little bit more free cash, we can have a really nice setup. And things like that will be so easy. No, even just loading them. Like we can have a super nice setup to load, like really efficient, getting animals where we want, but we don't right now. It's basically just try to corner them kind of and catch them by hand. Let's see. Lois says your description of loading the sheep actually sounds like a sitcom.
You know, it's funny in retrospect. It's not funny when you're like you really need it to work and you.
He was literally running all over the farm. I thought he was going to start going into the neighbors. He lost his mind without his buddy. I don't blame him because they've been together
forever.
For forever. But my goodness. Holly says antics of the Griggs game. Yes, pretty much. Prep for Eternity. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Danielle.
Welcome.
Thanks for hopping in. Let's see. Beeler says we're northwest of Columbia, about an hour. I'm close to retiring from EMS. Just one more year.
We got 2 people getting ready to retire.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Congratulations. That is cool.
I was gonna say, just like you were talking about how I was just thinking, lifting that sheep's real hard on your body. I know being an EMS, I'm sure lifting lots of heavy people and heavy things, it's gotta be hard on your body too after a while. Sure. It's a tough job. What was I gonna say?
I actually went. So you're talking about northwest of Columbia. I went to Central Methodist. That's where I got this
degree.
This ABSN degree. They have a satellite campus in Columbia for all of our stuff. So that's kind of sort of in that area.
So it was nice this year. So last year we had goats and sheep. This year we started with goats and sheep, but then the goats that we got were smaller than what we really wanted. And we've done that before where we butchered goats that were smaller than what we wanted, and it was not worth it. It was like an insane amount.
So much time and effort.
And you get these tiny little, and then it's like $12 or it was like $14 a pound by the time we had it butchered. Like maybe if it's a goat that birthed on your farm and you butcher it yourself, it's worth it.
Yeah, it would be worth it.
But it wasn't. Sure. So we ended up we sold the goats off. Because goats are good for, they're good lawnmowers and pasture grazers and stuff. We didn't want to keep them.
They sold fast, too.
They sold the same day. It was like 2 hours after I posted them. And I posted them for a competitive price. It was not like I underpriced them to sell in pasture. So that was a blessing.
Yeah, they came 3 hours later.
We decided we really liked the sheep more, and these sheep were nice and big. So we brought in the sheep. But it was nice this year because it was the second year doing it, I always find the cut sheets intimidating when it's an animal I haven't done before. I'm gonna say, I don't know. I know that's weird because I know the butcher people are very nice and they're gonna help me. But when it asks how thick do you want the pork chops, and you're like, what's normal? What do other people do? If I put 1 inch on here,
are we doing this in inches or centimeters?
Are you gonna laugh at me that's not possible? Or when they ask you how many do you want in a package? If I say well, I want 4, are they going to be no, it's 8 or 10, I have no idea. But second year, and I also knew now, I can ask for things I have to specify, it's not on the sheet, I want my bones back for soup and stuff, and they'll do that. But I didn't know that the first year, so we didn't get all that back.
It's a learning process as you go. And sometimes I think different butchers do things differently. So
yeah.
A little bit of it is kind of developing a relationship with your butcher, for sure.
So, many moons ago, I was a police officer in Fayette. It's a nice college. I can't do goats. Too good at escaping. We just bought a couple gilts to breed. So, back into the pig. Yeah, we want to try pigs. Oh, there were some humongous pigs that were dropped off when we were dropping off the
We saw, a few weeks ago, we have a friend that does horse therapy for
special needs kids.
Special needs kids, and they wanted to give Annie a try. She's kind of a guinea pig for them. It's sort of a new operation, but this horse farm had the biggest pig I've ever seen in my life. I guess he's a pet pig. Um, they got done with the horse ride, and the owner of the horse said, "Listen, I don't do this often, but it's kind of special, so I'll let you give the horse a treat." So she gets out the little bucket of treats, and that hog is like 50 yards away. He heard her rattling around those cans. He broke the gate on his enclosure. The next thing we know, he's there begging for
Treats.
food. But I mean, like, this is the biggest pig I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't even guess how much he weighed. It was big. But
What was his name? He had a cool name for a
he
pig.
did
I
have
can't
a
remember
cool
what it
name.
was.
I forget. I'm not sure. But I will say, like, he was, like, his back was probably past my waist, I would say, like, height-wise. He was huge. But I will say, as far as doing pigs, I've thought that it would be, and some of you have we've never done them, so you have way more experience, but I've thought doing them in the fall makes a lot of sense with pigs, just because I know they can overheat a lot in the summer, and so trying to keep them cool. I wouldn't imagine you'd have to have a big wallow for them, or or constantly spraying them down and stuff like that. If you do it in the like fall into the winter. We've talked about getting pigs for a long time, so I don't know, maybe.
We wanted to make sure with pigs, goats are very smart, and we
Mhm.
struggled to get good fencing for them the first few years because we just didn't have money to spend to try a lot of things, and so a lot of times we would try something and it wouldn't work, but you were stuck with that for 6 months until you could try something new. So we want to make sure when we do pigs that we've got a little bit of money to throw at it because we know there's going to be a lot of.
I think I'd be okay doing
Frustration.
pigs now. Like if in a month we were like, hey, let's get a couple pigs and try. Because I don't have school now. I will have
Yeah,
work,
that's tricky.
but I won't have school now, so I will be on the farm a lot more. And that way, my greatest fear was that Laura, like the pigs would escape and she'd be here all by herself,
Chasing them down.
chasing them down. So anyway, I guess that could still kind of happen, but.
Pigs are amazingly smart. Let's see, Becky's here, welcome. And Prep for Eternity says, I think I would have been a bit scared if Pig that big came running towards
Yeah, it
me.
was a little intimidating because he was coming for that feed. Like, don't get in his way. And it's so funny. He was literally like a dog. She was like, go get back in your pen. And she did bring him a little bit of the feed. And he was like so happy, like bounced back to his little enclosure. And she gave him a little bit. And then he's just over there just making happy pig noises in his corner of the farm. It was kind of funny.
Suzanne says pig in the winter is a terrible idea because frozen water is no fun. It was butchered before.
Okay, all right.
We do have water, like the coil, the heater inside the tub.
Yeah, I don't know that you can use tubs like that for pigs.
Oh, okay.
They have to have a...
Like a low trough.
Yeah.
Guess they got no neck though.
Let's see. Beeler says fall pigs are slow growers. If you want to butcher, they'll use all their calories staying warm in the winter. Do them in spring to butcher. Okay, all right. Now we know.
Now you know.
We're learning stuff. So
It was good. It was a good idea in theory.
yeah.
I mean, we have some weeks that are really hot, but we're not like in Arizona where
No,
it's going to
that's-
be 100 degrees for 4 months. So pigs, something we'll try. I'm determined that we're going to get a calf this spring. I want to say that I've done it. We raised a calf, but butchered our own, steer or whatever it ends up being, it's a boy or girl. But to say that we did it, and I know it's a huge animal, and we probably could never fit that much meat in the freezer, but we could give some of it away. But I just want to be able to say that I did it, because I feel like that's like one stamp on my homesteading bucket list that we can achieve.
The other stamp I've been wanting to do, like ever since we moved out here, is bees.
Yeah.
That takes a little bit of an investment as well.
I can tell you right now, you will get no help from any of our children if we have bees.
That's very true.
Seriously.
Well, Micah might help. She's not afraid of wasps
Well, I think
and
if
things like
you had
that.
the whole suit and you explained to her how the suit works and stuff.
I bet she'd do it. I think she'd think it was cool. Anyway, what else are we doing? We told our amazing sheep story.
Amazing sheep story. The garden's still growing. Does anybody here grow cantaloupe? Because I picked a cantaloupe the other day I was certain was going to be perfect. And it was hard as a rock. It was big, but it was not right. And so now I'm not convinced in my ability to be able to tell if they're ready to be picked. So
Was
curious.
it like at all? Like, are they supposed to be
No,
completely?
but the cantaloupe, like, they're not squishy.
Yeah, I guess it shouldn't really be squishy.
I just was looking at size and like the color of the outside. Like it wasn't green anymore on the outside. It was like that cantaloupe color, but it was not right. So I don't really know what I'm doing there. But I got a lot of them out there.
See, Lois says when we weren't breeding our own pigs, we used to get them in the spring, and then in the fall they're ready to be processed. Awesome. That's pretty much what we do with the sheep too. So.
Yes, if you do 2 calves, selling one will pay for everything on the one you keep. We do dairy cross bottle calves, relatively inexpensive. Yeah, that's something we did talk. Well, we also know that the cow would probably want a buddy, right?
Oh, I mean, if we have sheep, though,
yeah,
that'd be a buddy.
So that is something we've talked about.
The cow will be around longer though than the sheep.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one thing we do like about the sheep, or like we did pigs. You buy them in the spring, but you don't have to feed them all winter, which with a cow you do. So you that really saves you as far as costs go.
And work in the winter. Prep for Eternity says cantaloupe will fall off the stem when they're ready.
Okay.
Ripe every time.
I guess I can't rush it.
We gotta have patience.
Oh, and I got bad news for you. I got like 20 spaghetti squash.
We always do.
I didn't even like grow spaghetti squash on purpose.
We just give them away to church or something.
Everywhere, and then we just have so many.
Yellow squash and spaghetti squash.
And
like our farm could record numbers.
I don't understand.
Every year. Even years we don't even try to plant it.
We'll have come out of the compost pile.
Yeah, we'll have 3 or 4 plants that just go crazy. Our soil is just perfect for squash. At least those 2 specific kinds of squash. So. Yeah.
Lots of spaghetti squash bakes coming your way this winter.
Oh boy.
I feel like the spaghetti squash, the kids will eat it. That's kind of like they don't complain about it. So, what else we got going on?
I don't know. That's about it.
That's about it. Feels good that those sheep are gone. Don't have to feed them anymore. Well, we were really feeding them. They were still eating pasture. But time is coming when that pasture is not going to be green anymore. So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't need to buy any hay this winter. That's always the big cost, I feel like. Hay, we can't store a lot. So at the beginning of winter, the square bales of hay are pretty cheap. And we buy as much as we can fit. But then we always have to buy more in like February. And then people are price gouging.
It's just hard to find.
And they're hard to find. Left. And we can't take a big bale because we can't move it and we can't store it. And so it gets a little bit stressful in February, I feel like, when we have the dairy goat, we fed them hay all winter, like trying to find the square bales, and not just the square bales, but the bales that the goats will eat, because they'll starve themselves before they eat.
Well, when you have like a dairy animal, you want them to have good hay. You know, like if you just have a whatever cow, they'll literally eat whatever, just about, when it comes to hay. At least so I've heard. We don't have much experience with cattle. But, if you have like a nice dairy goat or a nice dairy cow,
I know.
Pretty decent.
But they're also kind of divas. Like,
the goats
weren't giving them bad hay. It's still fresh. But.
Veronica is here. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for popping in.
Let's see, going to be a lot of fall hay in our area. Unfortunately, broke my square baler doing straw.
Oh no!
Cows will be the ugliest hay. Yeah, we have a neighbor. He feeds out cows. I guess what he does, not like a neighbor. He's down the street ways, but because he'll have 50 head out there, but only for like a month, and then they're gone. So I think he feeds them out for people, but he'll have hay bales sitting out there for years, I feel like, before he'll feed them to cows. And they don't care.
It. Yeah, they don't care.
They'll still eat it, even though it's like super old.
Which cracks me up, because like he's not picky and the cows aren't picky. But like I worked on a horse farm for a while, and like horse people, man, they get up all in that hay and they're pulling stuff out to look at. I'm like, oh no, this isn't good enough. And some horses are really picky. We had some that weren't, but we had some horses that were super picky. So I don't know. I think that's kind of funny. The difference between people and animals when it comes to some of that stuff.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. This is the easy time, I feel like. We're, you only know you're pregnant because you have a little bit of heartburn and you see yourself and you walk past the mirror. But like, I'm not like I have my energy back. I don't feel sick. I feel like I can, do everything I want to do, keep up with the kids. So I feel really good. We had our ultrasound. I don't know if we talked about that because we haven't had live stream over.
Mm-hmm.
Sam had his fingers and his toes crossed that maybe the blood test was wrong, and it would be another little boy, but it is in fact still a girl. So poor Pat. Going to be the most patient man alive with 6 sisters. So
they wait on him hand and foot.
Oh, he
has
it down pat. Like, he knows that if mommy says no snacks, he knows what sisters to shop around to get some way to open up his packet.
He was actually earlier today. They all finally told him no about getting some kind of a snack. We kind of laid down the law because all he's been doing is getting people to open snacks for him, and then he won't eat anything else. He was pitching the biggest fit because no one was opening his snack or helping him get one. Boy, he was not happy.
He's been spoiled.
It was a big fit. Let's see. Herb Earth Garden is here. Thanks for joining us. Beeler Farm says, we don't have horses, but I shoot for horse quality squares. Hey, Sam, it's okay. 1 son and 6 daughters in our house. You'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Right. You're going to make it.
I guess I will. Well, I had 2 brothers and 4 sisters growing up. But I will say they were, like, I was the oldest.
The sisters are on the, well, there's one sister that's older, but most of them are on, like, the end half. So they were all little.
Yep. Veronica says he will be an amazing husband one day. He will understand women.
I always told Sam.
I think he's going to understand how to aggravate women, is what I think.
He's going to become like a monk, one of those silent monks. So he just doesn't want to hear anybody talk to him anymore.
He knows, as much as he knows how to like get what he wants, he also knows how to push their buttons already, some of them, and how to annoy them. And they're playing with something, he'll grab a headband or whatever and run off cackling because he knows that'll make him upset. Like, he's a stinker.
He's a button
already.
pusher.
Yep, he knows.
So
he might be little, but
he's smart.
He caused a lot of mischief.
All right, I think that's all. Yeah, that's all we had to talk about tonight. It was kind of our crazy week, but it feels good. I feel like we've checked a lot of things off the list, and I like with homesteading, and that feels like it goes in like seasonal spurts.
Waves.
Like winter is a lot slower. Like, it's been really busy, and there's been so much that has to be done. It has to be done now because it's the beginning of fall's coming. And there's a couple more weeks that are going to be like that, and then it really slows down. And then in the winter, like...
Hi, Bill.
You kind of
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, welcome, Bill. You kind of plan your garden, putter around your gardening books, and... kids can do some extra school hours and stuff because there's just not a lot of stuff that needs a lot of time.
Well, a lot of times there's like a few things you might do in the winter. Like, a lot of times, at least for me, one of the big projects I'm going to have is like cleaning up our barn because that's like mostly inside. Like, that's a really good inside project to do. So I feel like usually in the winter we have like a couple of projects that we do, but they're not like... They're not like desperately have to be done.
Well, I feel like in like the spring and late summer, like everything's on a timetable because it's all like very time sensitive. Like, it has to be done. You can't procrastinate because very small, like grow window or butcher window or whatever it is.
Hi, Angela. Thanks for joining us.
It's also nice too because we don't really keep animals over winter other than like our birds. Like, now farm tours is like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
twice a day. Like, it's basically open the coop and make sure everybody's got water. That's it. So it's nice.
Let's see. Jane B says, I hope you can get to everything and find some peaceful breaks to enjoy autumn too. Yes, for sure. I'm so excited for life to like slow down a little bit. Like, I know, at least for me with the new job, I'll still be like with a preceptor for a while and stuff, but I told Laura it'll probably be a year, I assume, when everything just feels like it slows down for me and I'm
feel really
much more comfortable in the job and stuff. Like, I'm just looking forward to having at least a little bit of a normal life for a little while. It's always good to push yourself and do new things and work on stuff, but that was a big mountain we just climbed.
Well, yeah,
So I'm ready for things to just kind of chill for a little bit. But
I agree.
let's see. Veronica says, I will watch the rerun, continuing to pray for your family. Love your family. Thank you so much. Let's see. Beeler says, I came in a bit behind. Where are you going to work at, Sam? I'm going to be at one of the Mercy hospitals in the St. Louis area. I'm actually going to be working on their labor and delivery unit. So I'm super excited about that. I was able to do my practicum on labor and delivery. So, which I felt like was really good. It gave me a little bit of experience in that regard, because I never thought about this until I got into clinicals and things like that. But nursing on the different units can be very, very different. So having just a little bit of experience in L&D, I'm hoping it makes my transition there a little bit better. So. Yep, that's where I'll be. I'm super excited about it too. I think there's 10 of us that'll be new on the unit, so yep, I'm excited.
It's gonna be good. We're excited.
All right, are we calling it?
I think we're calling it. So wish Sam a happy birthday. He just had a birthday.
I did.
And he had a 15-year anniversary with his last job with the church called it kind of retirement party, even though you're going to stay and volunteer, like we're not going anywhere, but those were big accomplishments this weekend too. So a year older, and you made a nice round number before,
15
before retiring.
That's a good number for I kept telling him, I'm like, you can't say I'm retiring, I'm not that old. It's just changing things up a little bit.
All right, lots of happy birthdays. And Eric says it's amazing how focused different units can be. Mercy is a good system. That's good to know. We're excited.
JB says happy birthday. Thank you for all the birthday wishes from everybody. Prep for Eternity, Tessa, Becky, and Angela. Appreciate it. So everybody have a great week. Thanks for hopping on here with us.
And
what's next week look like?
Next week, because you're working during the day, so it might be fine. We'll let you know on Sunday. We try to let you know. Make sure. Sometimes I don't have my big calendar in front of me. Make sure the kids don't have an activity or something. But hopefully we can be live again. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you all soon.
Yep. Have a good week.